Goodness comes and evil goes. Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu and welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject area, and that is celebrate the glory of your African nation. The Creator Supreme brought into being the primary people of the world, that is the African soul. And as such, the African expressed what it means to be civilized in a most excellent way. So much so that the grand expression of civilizations came to be the most magnificent and the most long-lasting. This, of course, from their own determination. African self-governing nation, then, is a necessary and high expression of being civil, of being civilized, of civilization. It is in nationhood that you see the institutions necessary for African life's fullest function being established, being developed, being coordinated, being structured, and harmonizing together in oneness for the overall thrust of a nation people. True African nationhood is of, for, and by African souls. Unfortunately, in recent times, with the interruptions and disruptions that have been imposed upon African souls, there's been the attempt by others to destroy African nationhood, to deny African nationhood, and set upon what would naturally be African nationhood in all kinds of ill and vile ways. There's even been attempts to create amongst African souls nationhood amnesia, where African souls are shoehorned into unknowingness of themselves so that they know not of their own ability to build and sustain, to create highly developed nations of their own, self-defined, self-determined, self-beneficial. Attempts by others to skew the African away from natural nation building and coerce the African outside of him or herself to exclusively serve the interests of others and their nations that reciprocate with subjugation, exploitation, or worse ills that are then heaped upon the African who hemorrhaged energies in that nation's building. African nation is nationhood of glory. African nationhood is naturally of the highest order. So it is right for the African. It is necessary for the African. It is imperative for the African to lift the self and restore self-governing African nationhood. And this is true wherever the African happens to be in the world, whether the African is on the continent of Africa, whether the African is in the Americas, in the islands, in Europe, further east of Africa, wherever the African is, nation building can and must still take place to the best of that African's ability. And that is why it's so important for African souls to be a part of African organs that have a thrust of nationhood at their core, so that wherever we are in the world, we can restore nationhood back into our lives and make that reality expressed. The African must have nation, beginning with the microcosm of nationhood in our immediate locale, and allowing that to flourish, to grow, to develop, to full blossom. This is glory to be celebrated. And one of the times of the year that celebration can take place for the all year round effort in bringing nationhood to the fore for African souls is during the observance of Kwanzaa, which begins on the 26th of December and runs through until the 1st of January, 7 days. To celebrate all of the efforts in order to bring nationhood to fruition. And that is indeed something to celebrate. So let us all do a little something. Do a little learning even. Get a little traction as a first port of call to enabling African nation and African nationhood to be made real in our life. So with that, food for thought. And surely it is food for thought until such time again. Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi. Divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.